Welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Emilio, a.k.a. Ender's Logic.
And it's just the two of us today.
It is.
And, of course, Christian behind the curtain.
Yep. Pulling levers and, like, spinning wheels. There's steam coming up back there. Got a lot going on.
So no Nick this week, but that's okay. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And, it's the episode after Thanksgiving. So how was your Thanksgiving?
It was great, man. The worst part about it was I wasn't going to go home to the Bay Area, but I just found that out to work Christmas, so I was like, I got to see my family this year. So we drove up Thanksgiving Eve, which is a terrible time to drive an 8-hour drive, so it turned into 10 and a half hours. When we got there, we were tired, and then a kid it was nightmarish. But while we were there for the 3 days, it was awesome. It was really, really good. And there's a whole new slew of babies in my family, so the family's growing again. There was a while there where Christmases sucked because there's no like kids opening presents. Mm-hmm. Now we have like an army of them, so it's great.
New generation coming in.
Yep, coming in hot.
Fun. Well, we've got some Thanksgiving questions at the end in the listener questions section, so I'm sure we'll talk more about that.
But let's get to the nitty gritty, Bobby. What are you thankful for?
Oh man, I have so much to be thankful for. I mean, I would like to say that my place was back together. That'd be nice, but that's not the case quite yet. Yeah. Still dealing with that.
All right, so we covered what you're not thankful for. So
yeah, but hey, man, I'm alive. I'm doing all right. I'm not suffering any massive physical ailments or financial problems. I mean, things are all right.
Things are in the bag. And recent life-changing thing happened.
Oh yeah, new position at work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Missionary.
Yeah, it's very different from my last position.
Yeah, it's good. For the better.
Yeah, in some ways it's really weird. It's really weird to go into work and not be surrounded by kids. And there was a moment where I was just sitting there in my cubicle staring out the window, and I just realized I'd been doing that for like almost a minute straight. And it's a very sedentary job. Like I sit around a lot. Yeah. At this point, it's probably going to change as things, as I start taking on more responsibilities. But it's like working in an office, man.
Yeah.
It's like the movie Office Space. Like it's an office job.
Yeah.
So I'm not out and about and doing things and talking to people, and not a lot of that.
Are you like the stapler guy? Or are you like, which guy are you? Who in the office are you going to be?
I don't know, man. I don't know if what personality niche I'm going to fill just yet.
But you do have a window.
Yeah, there's
That's
lots
good.
of big windows. No air conditioning though, and they told me that it can get over 100 degrees in summer, so that'll be fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about video games.
Let's do it. Okay, so on the radar, games that have come to our attention this week. I wanted to start off with Survivors of the Void. This is actually a DLC for Risk of Rain 2.
Ooh, I don't even know about this.
Yeah, it's kind of new. I just saw it pop up the other day, and they're being very cryptic about it. They're giving nothing away. So the whole Steam page has like these scrambled transmissions, and it says like incoming satellite message, and the video and screenshot is just a picture of a video of a satellite in space. So they're not giving anything away. I have no idea what this is going to be, or if there's like details anywhere out there, maybe on their Reddit, like somebody has dug up some stuff. But they said it's coming out Q1 of 2022 as well. So no hard date for this yet, but looks like soon.
Very cool. I did read some dev stuff, like dev updates. They were put, but I don't know if it's for this, the pay one. There were some new video and stuff, but I don't know if it's for this. This seems like they're being cryptic, and they wouldn't have put that out. I read that like a week ago. If you don't know the story, there's not much of a story. It's you crash land on a space station. Whichever character you pick happened to be on the space. I mean, you crash land on a planet, and then you kind of fight your way back towards your ship and then take off. But it's a roguelike action. But this sounds like another, like something else from maybe your fleet is showing up. So maybe more characters. I don't know. A lot of biomes on that planet, though.
Yeah. Is this the first DLC they've had?
They've had the free LCs, like when a new character
Well,
comes
when
out.
they came out with 1.0, right?
Yeah,
And did they continue to do updates after
they
that?
did. Yeah,
Okay.
characters. Maybe you'll get a new level here or there, but a pay DLC or something that says DLC like that, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if it's some sort of season pass type thing.
Whatever it is, I'll be up for it.
Hmm.
I love this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully more details to come.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk 2077 is, for the first time in its history, is now very positive under reviews. That's for the recent. Overall reviews is like slightly positive or whatever, like just barely over the hump. So it's turning the corner, and people are reporting like, well, now that most of the bugs are gone, all the great game breaking bugs are gone. The whichever stories were not finished or loose ends not tied up are starting. It's all starting to come together, and it's really starting to become a really good game. I've had it installed for about a month, and I haven't played it, so it might be time to finally go back. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Hmm. Yeah, probably a good time to jump into this game. We're almost coming up on the year anniversary of its release.
Yeah, yeah. They didn't. Should they have waited another year? It sounds like it, right? If it would have been easier for them to get this far along without it also being out and they having to do hot fixes and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows?
What if they released it in early access? How weird would that be? AAA game, early access.
Yeah.
All right. Another game I want to talk about is Factory Town. So this is like Factorio on a budget, or Satisfactory on a budget, I feel like. It just had its 1.0 release, so apparently this game was out in early access. But it is a simulation game where you are building a town and you're building lots of like conveyor belts and moving parts that all work with each other to make everything run more efficiently. Everything that I read about this game sounds just like Factorio or Satisfactory, but it's got a different graphical style, looks a little more cartoonish, which I don't know, makes this kind of game look a little less threatening. Some of those screenshots of like Factorio look a little intense.
As soon as you get smokestacks in anything, you're like, whoa, a lot of shit going on over there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nothing else besides that really to say about this game. It's not like it's doing anything terribly new or inventive here, but it looks like a nice, interesting game.
It could be deceptive too. You see those cutesy graphics and you're like, this is going to be easy. And then next thing you know.
Yeah. Well, the reviews are pretty positive, and it's on sale for $10 right now. Usually $20.
Yeah.
So,
might be worth taking a look at.
mm-hmm.
So Achilles Legends Untold. This is an isometric action game, beat 'em up kind of thing. In one of the first things that it says is like a roguelike. It says Souls-like combat. I didn't see that. Looks like a basic action RPG to me, but it could be the quick cuts that they're using in the video. But it does look good. The graphics look pretty great. There's progression. You can get new items and stuff as you go through. But yeah, for an isometric game, it looked pretty great. It's almost like playing a Diablo that's more action based than it is like a bunch of numbers. It's all about like dodging, getting behind your opponents, blocking, stuff like that. So anyway, looks good to me.
This is interesting. The release date, it says early access Q1 2022. I've never seen a release date for early access. That's or explicitly specified early access,
right.
At least. Yeah, cool. All right, last game I want to bring up. Again, this is a simulation game. It's called Tavern Master, but in this game, you are building your own like fantasy world tavern. So you have to manage it as well. It's like a sim medieval management game. I really like this idea. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could make a management game out of anything. And that's just the theme. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good. But I do like this theme. It's a good idea because in any fantasy world, in any fantasy story, like there's always a tavern scene,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like that's an
I
integral part.
That's what I'm totally wondering if they're like. I'm not seeing it, and I didn't see it in the description, but I wonder if adventurers come in there and start their quest. It has nothing to do with
Yeah, if
you
there's
know what I'm
like a
saying?
story or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah. From the looks of it, this is just a straight up sim game. You build the tavern, you add rooms, you add equipment, you manage the staff, and you serve the customers.
Ooh, that place is popping, dude.
Yeah, it's a busy tavern right there.
Let's go over down to Bobby's.
Wonder if you're gonna name your tavern.
It's either that or we could stay at in town and get fucking salmonella. No, let's go to Bobby's.
Uh,
Yeah, you gonna be playing this, Bob?
so it's not out yet. The demo is out. You can. Oh wait, no, it is out. My apologies. Yeah, it came out a couple weeks ago, middle of November. They have a free demo though, so you can check it out. But the game itself, I don't think is that expensive. It is $15. Yeah, so not too bad. I might check this one out. Honestly, out of all the stuff on the radar this week, this was the one that interested me the most, and it's really for no other reason than like, oh, that's a cool idea, managing a tavern in a medieval fantasy world.
For sure. I don't know how you could possibly say that. You haven't heard all my games yet, Bobby. Wolfstride is a trip of a game. I can't exactly pin down what it was from what I looked at. So first of all, they chose to go black and white. The whole thing's black and white. It's an RPG about three characters that are in a giant mech battle competition. There are shots of the actual fighting, which is like close-up shots of 2D fighting going on, and you can pick, like throw a car, stuff like that. It's turn-based, and then you can. There's shots of the characters inside of the mech controlling it. I think that might be the RPG part of it. It's a lot of quick cuts in the video, so it's hard to tell what's going on. So it gave me that vibe of like FTL. Your guys are running around trying to keep this thing running while while the fight's going on. So there's like the macro and the micro, maybe, I don't know. And then on top of that, there's the walking around town and talking to people for the RPG part of it. But anyway, very cool graphics. I can't think of it besides Obra Dinn. I can't think of another game that just decided to go black and white. That's pretty rare.
Well, Obra Dinn really isn't black and white either. That's like this weird. What do they call that when it's dotted? It's a certain artistic style. It's like a filter you could put on when it's like this pencil point type of. But it is just two colors.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting. Definitely interesting. If you're gonna visually check out anything that we talked about today, it'd probably be this one, just for the looks. And then. Lastly, Anacrusis is a 4-player co-op Left 4 Dead style game. One of the developers for Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, is on the team, or he's heading up the team. His whole thing, it seems, was the director. If you remember, Bobby, the director is an AI program that paces the
the AI director.
Yeah, the AI director paces the game for you. It lulls and ebbs danger, so that to keep things fun but not too hard, or depending where you want. It would it finds out where the encounters are going to be, kind of sets things up, sets the stage in real time as you're playing. So that, I guess, that's what this guy was. That was his part in Left 4 Dead, and he thinks that that's what really made Left 4 Dead a great game. So he's made Director 2.0 that apparently keeps track of how well individuals are doing and the team, and basically is doubling down on that part of it. The director setting the pace and and basically
I saw
what
some
made
news
it go.
about this. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but I could have swore I saw like an article that was talking about how somebody had imported the AI Director 2.0 into Left 4 Dead 2 and was explaining the differences. I could be wrong about that.
That
Maybe.
could be it because that's what they called it here. So, but I don't know. As far as looks wise, it's way more colorful. You're on this like derelict spaceship, but it seems like it was like a pleasure cruise spaceship. It's all bright pastels, and I don't know. And the monsters are kind of like mutated and also colorful themselves.
Yeah.
So they're not strictly that dark horror where everything is just you can't tell. It's brightly lit.
Yeah, it's a
Big.
70s sci-fi.
There you go.
Looks like Logan's Run.
Yeah, or what is that other one? Flash Gordon, something like that. Yeah, so hopefully it's good. I mean, the more of these there are, the better it is. I think there's plenty of room.
Yeah, I think we talked about this when we were talking about Back for Blood for weeks and weeks. But
Oh,
the
right,
AI
right.
director, that being absent in Back for Blood is definitely noticeable. The great thing about the AI director is that it can create situations that you've never encountered before. You could have a rush, like a horde in a building or a place on the map that you've never had it before, and it creates this entirely new experience where you have to defend or fortify or whatever. And with Back for Blood, it's a little more like I guess like what World War Z was, where at this part all these zombies always come out at this time, and it's
Right.
always this number, and then this special one comes out. Back for Blood isn't exactly like that because sometimes you get more of the zombies or less of them, but it does fluctuate a little bit. But there really was like a randomness, almost like a roguelike element in Left 4 Dead 2 because of the AI director.
And I think mentioned I noticed in Black for Blood as well. There, crows might not be in this one spot that they usually are, but they're designated predetermined spots, and they're either there or they're not.
Yeah.
But you know where they're going to be every single time. That they should 100%. Even if the zombies aren't random, at least the placing of the birds and the trip wires and the cans or whatever should all be random, right? At least I would think.
Yeah, you can kind of pick up on where they might be after a while.
Yeah.
All right, so time to start talking about some games that we've played. I'll start off with Gunfire Reborn. So this game recently had its 1.0 release, and I played this in beta a long time ago. Really enjoyed it. It feels like a very different game. Since it went back to it got the 1.0 release, I really wanted to check it out and see what all had changed. I really like this game, but back in beta, I had a run that was just insane. Like I was never going to top it. So I was like, okay, I pretty much experienced everything this game has to offer. Like I broke the game basically. But now they've added a couple more characters. There's now 5 playable characters, all with different styles. They have the same levels, but you can get one of 2 bosses at the end of each level. So there's a little diversity there. And then also at the very end, there is this extra boss that they've added. So they had like 4 levels and then the final boss, but now there's like a final boss. You can choose to exit the game at the end of the 4th one. I've been playing the melee character a lot, which I really enjoy. The only thing I don't like about it is you pretty much have to go melee with this guy. Like he doesn't. I've found a build with him that's just incredibly strong, and it doesn't seem to be any reason in doing anything else. So I don't know. I got to play more with different characters to see if there's more diversity, but it still does feel like you have to hopefully get like the right build with one character to be successful.
Did you just complain about having to be a melee build with a melee guy?
Well, he's a melee character, but still, it'd be nice if you could do like different kinds of builds with him with the guns. But it's not only that you have to go the melee weapons with him. He has these his abilities. He has this like flying kick and then like a melee swing, and it's insanely powerful if you build it up, like just ridiculous powerful.
Now that you play it more, I found the grind to be fucking, really long. Has that been shortened up, or do you not find unlocking things very hard anymore?
It does feel a little repetitive because I'm level like 100 something on this. So at this point, I'm just kind of like playing and beating the game, and then I can choose like 3 more talents because, the talents at the bottom are so expensive. So yeah, it does feel a little repetitive, but they've added new difficulty modes. So they got normal, then hard, and then nightmare, and then one more after that. Nightmare is no joke. I beat it on normal and veteran, but nightmare is just, I couldn't even get through the first level on that one. But yeah, I got to check out the new characters and see what those are like. The bunny's supposed to be super overpowered. It's still a good game, but it's got like weird little lag issues. Like if I'm not the host of the server, I notice it big time, especially in some of the little special areas you get to where you have to do the jumping puzzles. It makes it really difficult.
Those are hard in this game, man.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier when you're the host with 0 ping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good game, and I'm glad they finally got their 1.0 release, and they'll continue to put out patches for it. I think the price went up on this. I think it's $15 now, maybe even, 15. Yeah, it used to be 12.
If you played this and you're looking for something new, though, I thought RoboQuest was like a refreshing version of this game. I thought it was better in most ways.
I will say what I really like about some of the changes they made is that before it really felt like you didn't have to, or you didn't get enough like talent and perk points and enough of like the scrolls. So this time around, it feels like you get a lot more of those, so you can really feel like you're building a build. Yeah, you can really make a build now. Before it was kind of like you just get whatever they throw at you.
Right.
You just didn't get enough to really have any say and or create some unique kind of build. But now you have a lot more options.
So we have a correspondent, our movie correspondent here to talk about a new Christmas movie that came out. It can't.
Christmas.
It's what?
8-Bits Christmas.
Yeah, 8-Bit Christmas. Touch it to your mouth. There you go. So I watched it because right away I felt again I don't get much nostalgia, but I was like, oh yeah, this is exactly the time where I wanted a Nintendo so goddamn bad, and they seem to be impossible to get, and I definitely lived through a similar scenario as the kid in this movie. But Mila, what did you think? Because you're obviously not 44. You're a little kid. What did you think of the movie?
I think that it was a good movie, and it's very good. Like,
No.
I really like it. It's like the main thing of the movie is that the kid right there, he's telling his daughter about the story, about how he wanted a Nintendo so bad, but he couldn't get it.
Yeah.
But later on, he could.
It's kind of like The Princess Bride, where the guy is telling the story, and then he's talking through the movie and doing the narration, and then you're watching the story that he's telling, right? Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
And what would you like about it besides that?
What I really like is that it's funny how come all the kids are like teaming up to try to get a Nintendo Switch so bad.
Yeah. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System, not a Switch. Thank you very much. Bobby just saw it last night, too. What'd you think, Bobby?
Yeah, I liked it. So, yeah, they had that little, like, heist scene at the end where they're trying to get the Nintendo. But the movie, like, really... It's trying to be very nostalgic for the older people like us, but then also appeal to like the young people like Mila. And I thought it did a pretty good job of that. There's some things in this movie that I thought were really funny. They were a little exaggerated, but they were so true. Like the fact that there's always that one kid on your block that had it, and you always kind of had to put up with him just to play his Nintendo.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, like that was very real for me.
I think it was probably annoying to watch it with me because there was a few times where I kept pausing. And I was like, "This is because they were saying this because it's exactly they hit the nail on the head."
And then the Power Glove, like being this thing that was really built up, but then ended up just being a really crappy controller.
Yeah.
They touched on that, but I thought for a movie that relies so much on children or child actors, I thought it was actually really good. Like the main character kid there, like I thought he did a pretty good job of carrying the movie.
I was thinking about that. I was like, this this kid's like Mila's age, and he's like holding this whole movie up. Did a good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get with kid actors. But yeah, I mean, it was good. It was a good mix of nostalgia and then, yeah, it was pretty humorous at times.
And what'd you say about the ending, Mila?
The ending was pretty nice and it was cute because the dad was like kind of like putting a lot of pressure on the kid all the times. But then the last night before they were going to go on a field trip to somewhere, I don't know where. He was trying to build like a tree house for him all night long. And that was really nice. It was cute because the dad was always putting like a lot of pressure on his kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very nice gift.
And the kid really wanted a Nintendo Switch. That's what he thought he was going to get because his dad, he pulled his phone, I think, and then like this little box came out and it said that it was for the kid who wanted the Nintendo Switch so bad. And then he opened it and it turned out to not be the Nintendo Switch.
Ooh,
It
that's
was something
that happens
like
multiple
bright
times in
red.
this
Yeah,
game.
yeah, he gets the
Isn't it?
light bright.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
gets the
light
light bright.
Yeah.
Light bright.
Which I had a light bright. But what you're talking about the framing device that they use. So they have the dad telling the story to his daughter, and then it's like the whole movie's a flashback, and then you see him as a little kid trying to get the Nintendo. And the whole reason he's telling the story is because his daughter keeps bugging him about getting a phone. So there's kind of this connection here, and it could be kind of easy to miss that, I suppose. But you know, when we were young, we were all like this kid, totally obsessed with playing video games, whatever the cost. And the parents are like, "Oh, they're too violent," or you know, they turn your brain into mush, as they say in the movie. And that's kind of how us now as adults, we tell our kids, "No, you can't have a phone because," and it's all the things that our parents told us about video games and Nintendo.
Yeah,
So I thought that was pretty interesting.
It was a nice movie.
for sure.
Except
You were
when the
saying-
dog got crushed.
You were saying that like things were exaggerated, Bobby, but I think it's like things are exaggerated when you're a little kid. You know, like that kid wasn't that big. The
Oh
bad
yeah, that kid was like an adult.
Yeah, he was like an adult, but like to him
Yeah.
in his eyes, he was that big. You know what I mean? When he's recounting the story. So that's the way that I interpreted that. All right, movie or Mila, do you have anything else you want to say before
No.
I kick you out of here?
Yeah, you can just kick me out of here.
Okay, good job.
You know, the whole reason that I watched this movie,
Bye.
bye Mila, the whole reason that I watched this movie actually, or found out about it, was I listened to that podcast, How Did This Get Made?
Right.
And the mom in this movie is on that podcast. She's married to Paul Scheer, the other guy on the podcast. And they were talking about how she was in old lady makeup. And so they were saying, "Oh yeah, check out the movie. You can see June and as an old lady or something." So that's kind of how I became aware of this. But I don't know. It's not in theaters.
Not a
is
big
it?
release. It's HBO Max,
Yeah.
straight to HBO Max, and that's it, I think.
Yeah. So I would have totally missed this otherwise, because I mean don't usually check HBO Max.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Your girlfriend's HBO Max. I played Halo Infinite. Not much, but there's not much there really. There's only, I believe, 3 game modes. There is Capture the Flag. There is, I don't know what it's called. It's where you hold an item and get points while you're holding it. And then there's like point capture. So I was saying last week that I've never really played Halo, but I can see the appeal, and I can also see the years that have gone into these games, like the assault rifle, the standard one that you start with. It's not very strong, but like it has the perfect amount of ammo in it for you getting into hairy situations where you have to start either meleeing or pull out your pistol. There's always the threat of a melee attack. It's constant. Like it does massive damage. So there's this little dance as you're shooting each other, because the time to kill is pretty long. As you're shooting each other, you're also trying to punch each other in the face a lot of the time, because it'll end the fight right there. So there's a distance game being played at all times. and also when you're playing the ball game, what the one where you have to hold the ball. Sorry, I don't know the name. Um, you can't shoot when you're holding the ball. So your team of four now has three members that can shoot, but you can crack people over the head with the ball. You're a melee character only. So there's a lot of like when you're running away with it, you turn its sharp corner instead of continuing to run. You just turn and you wait and you fucking bash him over the head when he comes through the doorway. There's a lot of mayhem. It's all built for fun. Um, it feels a little slow. If that's what they were going for, if they were going for like a Call of Duty, but I think they were just going with the speed that Halo's always been, which is fine. It just for a game like this, where like I think of like Toxic or Call of Duty, it's a lot more fast paced. Not that the shooting is slow, but the character they feel kind of floaty to me. But that's just something that's probably been part of the franchise forever. Yeah, I had a good time with it, and it's free. I saw a Reddit post about, hey, in order to get everything unlocked in the game, you need to have spend like $10,000 or 20,000 hours, and they did the calculations, and how like this is predatory and like blah blah blah. And the only reason it came up on my feed is because it was pretty high up on the Reddit. People were like upvoting it, and I was like, I can't disagree more. First of all, it's all cosmetic. I'm pretty sure it's all cosmetic, and who wants all of it? Like a lot of it doesn't
appeal. A lot of people do. Me and Heroes of the Storm, I want it all. But the cosmetic thing, like I don't know, man. I used to think like, oh, it's just cosmetic, it's okay. But I don't know if that's a good enough excuse, because cosmetics are super important in video games. I'll talk about it later with Sea of Thieves, but like cosmetics are a big deal. Think about just our lives in general, dude. Like you could drive like a Ford Fiesta, but you don't, because you feel it reflects on you.
It's your cosmetics.
Yeah, it's your cosmetics. So, I mean, I think it's a bigger deal than a lot of people make it out to be.
Sure, but all I'm saying is, like, why have it all?
Yeah, and most people won't, but there's going to be people out there who have, like, addictive personalities or completionists or whatever, and those are the people in danger. It's a small subset, but that's where they make the big money.
Yeah.
The whales.
Yeah, the whales. The cosmetic whales.
Yeah. Yeah. What do they mean by season 1? They're doing seasons to this?
Yeah. You could buy the battle pass and like unlock things quicker or whatever, more XP.
Typical battle pass stuff.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I played 4 rounds. I won 3 of them, maybe 5 rounds, and I am like 15% through level 1. Usually level 1 is like easy.
Yeah.
But no, it's a grind without the battle pass. But like I said, I give 0 fucks. I control my character just as well as anybody else does. Just being red doesn't make you faster.
Halo Infinite. It's interesting that they chose this release style. We'll see how that plays out. Has there been any other game that has done that, where they have like the free multiplayer version and then you can get the rest of the game by paying for it?
Did that happen with Doom?
Doom? I don't think so.
The new 2016 Doom, or was it the multiplayer come out afterwards?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Nobody plays the multiplayer on that, really. Anyway.
I know.
No, I thought they did that with the Call of Duty, but I can't remember. All right. Sea of Thieves, man. I got into it, and it was pretty rough at first. Like, we spent an inordinate amount of time just trying to turn the boat around, got stuck somewhere. And then also trying to figure out what we should do. We were trying to deliver some chickens, and there was some confusion about how to do that. The game does. I played with the usual Friday crew. It was me, Hector, and Yanko. Yeah, and we had a pretty good time once we got into it, though, and kind of figured out. Well, once I did, it took me a little while to figure out the game, because I had played this years ago.
Yeah,
maybe I think it was years ago, and kind of when it first came out, and there wasn't all this other stuff added, so I had to kind of figure out a lot of things. They really don't give you a whole lot in the missions. I'm so used to just quest markers coming up, and I can completely ignore the text, but this game really forces you to do that. Pretty quickly, we realized we were just doing these quests for this emissary, this group that they had boring quests. It was like go catch some animals and return them or something. So we're like, no, let's go to the Order of the Souls where we fight skeletons. That sounds way more exciting. Let's do those quests. And we ran into some sort of like boss fight, I guess. There was like this big signal in the air, like this big red tornado going up into the sky. And I guess that signaled just some like random world boss that you can run into and fight. And we had quite a long battle with him, but eventually defeated him.
Oh, wow. Your first shot, huh?
Yeah, it took a long time though. It
Yeah.
was like a long fight.
Were there other ships there?
No, the entire time we were playing, I don't think we ran into other ships. I think I might have seen one, but it wasn't like before when we had played. We ran into other players.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a bit odd. And I think I was wrong. I think there is a way where you can just join randomly with other people, with strangers.
Okay.
You can queue up with them. There seems to be like a single player version of the game now, or a campaign version that you can play. And I think I was under that and I couldn't find anybody.
Did you see the Game Pass deal that there was? It was like 3 months for $10 or something like that.
Target, yeah.
Yeah, Target.
Yeah, and that was the ultimate one too.
Yeah, the better
which I'm kind of interested in checking out because that gets you access to xCloud. The normal Game Pass, you don't get access to xCloud,
Right.
and xCloud is their what do they call that? Remote server-based gaming, where you basically like what was the Google one that didn't take off?
Stadia.
Yeah, it's like Stadia basically, but yeah, that looks pretty appealing, man, because you can just you don't have to have expensive hardware, and you have access to all these games. You can play it just on any device.
Yeah, for sure.
But
And since you're just sitting at your desk at work, tell me, does your monitor face corner or like towards?
no, it's right out in the open.
Oh, great.
But no, I mean, I have stuff to do at work.
Right,
I'm
right.
just sitting and doing it all on a computer rather than going out and doing stuff. But
Yeah.
you know, there'll be other things. But there's really nothing. They also do a season pass in Sea of Thieves as well. I think it ends in a couple of days here, but there's really nothing that you get out of doing all these quests. You build reputation with these different groups called emissaries.
Uh-huh.
And when you build reputation, it gives you access to things that you can buy from them, like all cosmetic stuff, and then also the higher level quests. So you get more and more interesting and difficult quests as you. Well, I don't know if they're more difficult, but they're higher reward. So I assume there's more risk. But yeah, this game is just entirely based off of cosmetics, and it's really strange how powerful that is because we went on a run and we had like our boat accidentally sank somehow, so we had all our treasure in this little rowboat. It was pretty comical, actually, dude. It was just like this mound of treasure in the back of this little rowboat, and I'm like, okay, you guys stay with us. I'm going to go back and get the ship where it respawned, and we got it back in there, and we made a whole bunch of money, and then we all spent like half an hour just going to each vendor and like, ooh, that looks good. Ooh, an eye patch. Ooh, a hook. You know, and we stopped playing after that. But now I'm like, my character's finally looking like pretty cool, and I'm like ready for some more adventures. Like it's amazing how powerful the cosmetics are in this game. I guess because it's the only type of reward available in the game.
But the core gameplay loop is also very fun, right? I mean, that's the only
It's not Deep Rock Galactic fun.
right.
It really is. You're hanging out with your friends, and it's not like too stressful, and it's kind of like low key, you know, and you're kind of hanging out. Like we did the combat stuff too, and the combat in this game, sorry to say, it's just not very good. I mean, we talked about Halo. That's renowned for just having that real crunchy, satisfying type of gunplay and melee combat. This is totally not like that. It's not janky like Rust or some know, Unity game, but it's not satisfying really at all. And it all just feels like, I don't know, very stiff in a way. So, I mean, it's okay, but you know, you're hanging out with your friends and you're sailing the seas and like you like playing as a pirate, you know, you're acting like a pirate. So it is kind of fun in a way.
Captain Gummy is chomping at the bit to play with you over here, and he says that once you get to level 50, you get to go see a secret area for pirate legends. That sounds like something to work towards.
Nice. Yeah, I'm. God, I think I'm level 25 with the gold hoarders.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But you can see here's the 4 groups right here, the bilge rats, the order of the souls, some other one. Yeah, I got a ways to go with some of the other ones. But yeah, and you can customize your ship. Yeah, the ship is cool. But yeah, it's a good game, man. I'm wondering if I eventually buy this on Steam because I've only got a few more months. I think end of January my Game Pass expires, and I'll see what I can do there. But I wonder if I bought this on Steam if my data would transfer over. I assume that it would. I mean, I remembered all my progress from last time, however long ago that was.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone's done that. But yeah, it's a good game, and I feel like if I were to get back into it again, like the next playthrough, there'd be a little less of that like figuring things out phase, and we'd get right into the fun. But I'm still up for it, man. Fridays.
So you had 3 players on a 4-person ship, right?
No, there's a 3. Well, there's a ship that is 3 to 4 people. And
Right,
then I
right,
think there's
right.
like a straight up 4-person
And
ship.
then there's a galleon that's like made for 6, I think.
No, 4 is the max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we did one that was made for I think 3 to 4 people, and 3 people we were able to handle it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Cool, man. I'm glad you're finally getting into it because seems like a game for you.
Yeah, it's a good time. Okay. Is it time for listener questions?
I think it's time for a plug. What do we plug it today? Get to our website. We have everything DLG related, dlgaming.net. You can find year-old information about us and how we were back then. You can find merch. You can find how to get to our Discord, which is really the best thing we've ever done. Discord has a bunch of cool people. As soon as you go in, you have a lot of people waving at you and putting up funny memes. And yeah, and then you can find your niche within there because, you know, there's different games being played. We have a Magic the Gathering section. We have a, what's the one you made? I can't remember. New World. We have a New World section. Yeah, all kinds of stuff for different strokes for different folks. But mostly it's a chat. It's not really for gaming that much. I mean, we made it for that, but people just get together and talk about stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can contribute to the podcast. You can put things on the radar that we put on our radar. Almost everything that was on my list was from listener contributions.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to these questions. We got a couple from Warconius here. First one is... Oh, yes?
Let's not forget Smajef.
Oh, that was from this week. Okay. Yeah, we've got a subscription.
He subbed after the show, and I just feel like 22 months. What a champ. He got to get called out, you know?
Yeah. 22 months, that's almost 2 years. It's a big deal.
Smajef.
I think it's Smajef, but
Smajef.
All right, thanks, Smajef. Bobby, also, I want to recap everything we talked about real quick. So if you go down the bottom, on the radar was Survivors of the Void. That's for Risk of Rain. Cyberpunk 2077 is finally a decent game. Factory Town, Achilles Legends Untold, Tavern Master, Wolfstride was the weird black and white one. Anacrusis is a 4-player co-op that hasn't come out yet. Gunfire Reborn was on the highlights, as well as 8-Bit Christmas, Halo Infinite, and Sea of Thieves. I'm going for my reporter cadence.
All right. Listener questions, let's do it. Warconius asks, what's the one dish that you would get rid of from Thanksgiving dinner?
Anything green. Green beans, the green bean casserole, pass, hard pass.
Yeah, I usually pass on that too, but I think my least favorite would be the stuffing.
Man, I like stuffing.
I do not like the stuffing.
I've had 6 different stuffings probably, and they're all wildly different. I think it's very house to house, you know.
Yeah, well, a lot of those dishes, you can really do it very differently.
I'm saying you probably just don't like your mom's stuffing.
No, I've had lots of different kinds of stuffing.
Yeah?
And,
no, it's not for you, huh?
I hate gravy.
Gravy,
really?
really?
I can't stand gravy. I really don't like it.
Does that mean you don't like poutine?
I love poutine, but usually I just ask for light gravy on my poutine.
No, that means you don't hate gravy then. If you're taking light
I
poutine.
really hate when I see people like cover their entire Thanksgiving meal, like the broccoli salad, the stuffing, the potatoes, the chicken, the turkey or whatever, the ham, the whole plate is covered in gravy. I feel like you're ruining your whole fucking plate, dude. You're dipping it in like toxic waste.
I guess, man.
I think the
It's good.
gravy makes it go down a little easier. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So you guys celebrate Thanksgiving same day and everything over there?
No, no, different day. Our Thanksgiving is because we had a rebellion, the French and the English, so it's on a different day.
It's in
Oh.
October.
And your
right?
your Thanksgiving is like we stole the land, or I
No,
forget,
no, no, no,
something
no,
like-
no. We got here, or some European folks got here. We're having a real rough go, and the Indians came and helped them and showed them how to grow stuff, and everything went swell right after that too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I
this-
forgot how that
to,
went. Yeah.
to this
cool.
day,
Sweet.
that's how it went.
Yep. Charlie Brown made a movie about it. I think
Yeah,
it's all in there.
it's all swell.
Okay. Warconius also asks one family member that you would get rid of from Thanksgiving dinner.
Oof. I mean, I don't know if I can talk about it here. I have a family member. Let's go with Nick. I get enough of him on the podcast.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't know. There's always at least one.
You
I
can
don't know.
say it, Bob, because like your family doesn't even know you have a podcast. I bet.
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just feel weird because I actually had this conversation with Christian before the podcast, and it was like kind of a long story, but I'll give you a condensed version of it, or actually just a bit of it. So there is one person in my family that has got some very interesting views, and I'll just tell you one of the things she was going off amid quite a few other things. One of the things she was going on about on Thanksgiving was that the kids are always on their phones and their devices, and they're not out there playing. And she literally said they don't even play kick the can anymore. She said that. And have you ever played kick the can? I mean, this is like something that is too old for even us.
It's not a
This-
game, right?
No, they played it in like the 50s.
You just kick it.
No, it's a game.
Oh, it's a game. I didn't know it was a game.
Okay, here's how you play kick the can. And so here's how you play kick the can. So one person is trying to guard a can on the ground,
All right.
and the other kids are trying to kick it. Now, the person guarding the can is also trying to tag the other kids. If they get tagged, they're out. So if he goes over there to tag a kid, and then the other kid can come in and try and kick the can. Like
Okay.
that. Yeah. No, it's terrible, dude.
That's
one
good.
time when I was young, I was like, "Hey, let's try playing this." You know, my mom explained to me how you play this game. You know, it's like this old game, and this is probably like early '90s or something. And we tried playing it, and it was so we're like, "This fucking sucks, dude. Let's go play video games." It was so bad. There's a Dave Attell joke about horseshoes where he says it must have been invented before fun because it's not, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel about kick the can. I'm like. But yeah, that's what's wrong with kids these days. They're just, they're on their little devices and their Nintendos, and they're not out there playing this horribly boring game called Kick the Can.
I feel like when kick a can was invented, it was one of the only objects that was around. Like there was
Well,
only
yeah, all you
rocks.
need is a can, dude.
Yeah.
It was made like during the Great Depression, where like, what else were they gonna do?
There was rocks, cans.
Yeah,
and
they had that
shoes.
little like stick in a wheel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you kidding me? Oh God, it must have been terrible to live through those times.
I'm trying to find like video evidence that people play kick the can, and I'm watching all these videos on YouTube, and I can't actually find anyone kicking a can. Like, is kicking the can not the main part of the game?
Well,
Sounds
probably because nobody cares, dude.
I would say it's central. What is this guy doing? This looks like scare the kids.
All right.
Are
Next
they show-
question.
Oh my god, are they showing how to play hide and seek? All right, let's go.
Okay, next question from Moroconius. He says, do you think Forza Horizon 5 handles Mexican culture and history respectfully? The side mission where you are smuggling workers across the border was an odd choice.
I don't think so. I mean, smuggling people around across the border is a huge thing. It's has its own culture. There's people called coyotes, and they do that for a living. And a lot of Mexicans build up money for years so they can pay these coyotes to get them across. So the culture it is part of the culture. It's like something you save up for to try to get to the United States so you can have a better life. And
But
sometimes
are they transporting them in the DL Gaming podcast Buick Grand National here, pictured on screen?
funny that you should bring that up. If you pay extra, like double, it's you could go in a car as opposed to like
it's like a Uber Black or something.
yeah. Coyote Black. Yeah. Yeah, you could cross in a car if you pay like a certain amount. So it's nuts. Anyway, yeah, Workonis also made us a car in Forza, and it says DL Gaming all over it, and it looks fucking awesome. He did a really good job on it. This game is so close to photorealistic. It's crazy. Even when you're playing it, like I was showing it off, Forza is now my go-to. Like, come check out what my computer can do game, and people are like, "Where?" It was Mila's real dad. He's like, "Is this a game?" I was like, "Yeah, it's a game." He's like, "Shit, I thought it was video." It's such a good-looking game. It's so super fun. But Orcones, what I do find odd is like the accents seem off to me. Maybe like there's different, but yeah, I don't know if it's white people trying to do Mexican accents or it's a hard thing to do, right? Like to do you get voice actors that are Hispanic and have them deliver English lines, or do you have English speakers put on an accent? That's the part that seems odd to me. It seems off, especially a lot of the characters. But I haven't done that many missions where like I haven't run into anything crazy or off-putting. If it's in there, we probably do it. We're a crazy bunch of people.
All right. Another question from the Living Strong. What was the best Black Friday deal you found?
It was a TV one year. I got like, I don't know. I forgot what it was, but it was like right after I think it was the first 4K that I got. It was an open box, and it was 55 inches, and I got it for like $450. It was like half off. I walked out of there so happy, man, carrying it in my arms, like with no box, just like this thing and holding the cord. And I was like, nailed it. Yeah, it was a great TV for a long time.
So do you go out and do the Black Friday thing? Like,
no, no, definitely not.
okay.
That time I did though, because we needed a TV. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never gone out for Black Friday. I may have when I was young. I might have gotten dragged along with my mom, but no, I'd never do that anymore. I bought some stuff this year, but I don't know if it was like a Black Friday deal or not. I got a keyboard for my girlfriend's place because the one that she has is just too big and old and got keys chipped off because her fat cat always sits on it. But got a nice one. I think, what was it? The Logitech K400, I think. It's a nice small one, and it's got the trackpad built in. That's the key, because sometimes it's really annoying when you're sitting on a couch to use a mouse. So
yeah, absolutely.
Having that trackpad is really nice. And they're smart. They put the trackpad on the right so you can kind of control it with your thumb, and then they have like a left mouse click button on the right side, so you can just like press that button.
And it's wireless?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect for like it's a media center, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was like $18. I've never seen it that cheap. So, pretty good deal.
It's a family tradition not to only to place categories, but to buy a new fucking box every fucking year because somebody fucking forgets it. I brought my own this year and still left it at one house when we went to another house to play. So we had to go out, and I got it for $8 on Black. I couldn't believe it, dude. Like, $8 for a fucking board game that all my family loves. But yeah, we bought a new one. That's the only Black Friday deal I got.
Yeah, there's never any deals on like computer hardware. It's not really that big of a. I mean, nothing that you would want,
Right.
really.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that big of a deal for gamers, PC gamers, I think. All right, last question from Taglo Moreau. Don't think that's right. Cranberry jelly or whole cranberry sauce?
Neither. I'll pass on both.
Yeah, I don't like cranberries.
Yeah. Boy, we really shut that one down.
I do not like cranberries
Titties. Wrap
at
it.
all.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What are you gonna be playing next week, Bobby?
I don't know, man. I do not know. Like, I've been fortunate that I've been playing games that I really like, and it hasn't felt like an obligation or a chore recently. And if you look at the track record, it's all like co-op games. You know,
Yeah.
Gunfire Reborn, Deep Rock Galactic, Sea of Thieves.
Bad for Blood.
Yeah, Back for Blood. So I don't know, man. Like, hopefully, maybe I'll try like Gears Tactics.
Yeah, something single player.
Mhm.
Well, most of your Age of Empires 4 has been single player play, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was that. Probably try to get some use out of my Xbox Game Pass. I'll see what's on there. Atomic Crops. I still got that one. I got to check out.
How much Cyberpunk did you play? I know you liked what you played, but yeah.
I played a good amount. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about it, but I thought it was all right. I went like a melee build, so I just kind of ran into every mission and just swatted around a sword or something and killed everybody, and that was like it. So it kind of got a little old after a while. But I put maybe 10 hours into that game. Like
Yeah. You wouldn't go back?
No, I would. I'd play more of that.
Sounds like you just need to up the difficulty.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that is a show. Chris, you got anything for us up from Canada land?
Nope. All good, all clear over here. How are you?
Good. The only thing when I was talking about like Mexicans being crazy, I heard somebody talk. One guy, Joey Diaz, on the Joe Rogan podcast, really put our continent in perspective. Canada, not enough flavor. Mexico, way too much flavor. United States, just enough flavor.
It's like Goldilocks
Yeah,
in the three countries.
the three countries. Yeah. All right. Speaking for Chris, Bobby, and myself, North American Titties. Bye-bye.
Well, at least the outro music works.
Yeah. It is so strange that one doesn't, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.